a stone market square on a bright Saturday, and one roll of blue cloth that nobody alive can make again. Listen for what Nuria finally does with the last 9 meters of it. Come with me into the square. At 8:10, a man offered Nuria double the price for the blue, and she said no. He put the notes on the table anyway, where the whole vegetable row could see them. Nuria rolled the cloth up, tied the string, and set it back in the crate under the trestle. Then she sold him 4 meters of gray at the ordinary price. 9 meters lay in the crate, deep blue linen, the color of water over dark stone. It was the last of it, the final part of a supply with nothing behind it. Her mother had sold this cloth from this pitch, the same stall space, and her grandmother before her. For 1 whole year, Nuria had turned away every person who asked for it. There was nothing mysterious about it. Anyone in the square could have told him why. Behind the dye house on the hill, there had been a spring, cold water straight out of the rock, and that water made the blue go deep. 4 summers ago, a road was cut across the hillside above it, and the spring dried up, less and less, and then none at all. Now the dye house takes its water from a mountain pipe, and that water is hard. Hard water is water full of lime, the white mineral that leaves a pale crust inside a kettle. Lime turns that blue a flat gray, not a beautiful gray, a tired one. The dyer was 71. Last autumn she shut the door. Knowing why does not stop anybody looking. Any of it come in? The knife sharpener asked, most Saturdays. Next month maybe, Nuria said. She had been saying next month for a year. 11 letters to shops in 4 towns. Cloth like that is hard to come by, difficult to get hold of, however much you are willing to pay. But hard to come by is not the same as finished, and so Nuria held out hope. A forgotten bale in a storeroom, a tailor who had overordered. One shop wrote back and sent 3 meters down from a high shelf. 10 years of shop window had turned one long fold almost silver. She paid for it and put it under the 9. Let's stop the story here and take the first 4 phrases. 1. The last of something, the final part of a supply, with nothing behind it. 9 meters in a crate were the last of the blue. 2. Hard to come by, difficult to get hold of, however much you are willing to pay. Good linen is hard to come by now. 3. Hold out hope, to keep believing that something good may still happen. Nuria held out hope for a whole year. And 4. Dry up, when a supply comes less and less and then stops. A spring can dry up. So can orders and invitations and letters that used to come every month. In May, a handcart took the empty pitch 3, along from Nuria's. Pilar was 24. She had trained 6 years in that dye house on the hill, her aunt's, and in 2 more the whole of it was to have been hers. The vats, the drying field, the name. She had made the blue herself, perhaps 40 times. Now she dyed with pipe water, because there was no other, and was building greens and rusts that lime does not spoil. Take some, she said to Nuria the first morning. You have the pitch, I have the cloth. I sell the blue, Nuria said. You sell nothing, said Pilar, without heat unloading baskets. You lost a line of stock. I lost the trade I was raised into. One of us is still dying. In June, Pilar left 3 samples on Nuria's table, each with a number pinned to the corner. Number 1 had purple under it. Number 2 was nearly black. Number 3 stopped her. Nuria carried it round the square for 2 days. Against the open sky at noon, it was the blue. In the shade of the stone arches, it went green. At 5, flat on the table with the low sun across it, it came back so nearly right that she laughed out loud. It was a close match, nearly the same, though not exactly. She could have taken it by the bale, sold it as the blue, and settled for it, accepted something less than she wanted. 9 buyers in 10 would never have known. But one day somebody would hang the new beside the old, and then they would know. And she had known all along. She gave the samples back and told Pilar the truth. It was good cloth, and she would not sell it. Pilar took number 3 pitches down the row, and by August was selling it faster than she could dye it. Nuria stopped writing letters. She added it up the way she added up stock. 11 letters, 4 towns, 3 meters ruined by a shop window, 1 year of next month maybe. Nothing left to try. When you stop spending time or money on something that is not going to work, you cut your losses. Nuria cut hers on a Tuesday, on a crate behind a folded awning, doing nothing whatever for a quarter of an hour. 4 more phrases before the end of the story. 5, a close match, nearly the same, though not exactly. Number 3 was a close match, and a close match was not enough. 6, settle for something, to accept something less than what you wanted. I wanted the corner pitch, but I settled for this one. 7, cut your losses, to stop spending time or money on something that is not going to work. And 8, leave it at that, to say a thing and add nothing after it. When somebody tells you hard news plainly, does not soften it, and offers no substitute, they say it and leave it at that. On the first cold Saturday of October, Iva came to the table with a piece cut from a seam. 22 years earlier, Nuria's mother had sold her the cloth for a long room with 6 windows. Now the bottom of one panel had gone to threads where the afternoon sun came in. 4 meters, she said, you always have it. Nuria lifted the roll out of the crate and carried both pieces into the open light. There it was, her 9 meters, as deep as the day they came out of the vat, and Iva's piece beside them, 22 years later. You would have to do all 6, Nuria said. 16 meters, I have 9 and no more after these. And 1 new panel among the old. You will see it every morning at that end of the room. She did not offer Pilar's green. She did not say it was nearly as good or that everything fades in the end. She said the true thing and left it at that. Iva bought nothing and went home to measure again. The next Saturday, Nuria carried the crate out and did not put it under the table. She untied the string, spread the last of the blue along the front boards where the sun struck, laid the brass yardstick across it, and said a price out loud. Then she cut 2 meters for a christening, 1/2 meter for a chair seat, 3 for a woman who did not say what for. Each time, measure, mark with the thumb, the long iron shears going through the linen with that low sound, fold, hand it across, take the coins. Cutting cannot be undone. Every cut made the roll smaller, and nothing was coming to make it bigger. By 11:30, 1 short remnant was left, too small to sell. She rolled it into her apron pocket. She wound the string around her hand, laid the bare wooden roller in the crate, and pulled the gray up into the space where the blue had been. The square went on around her, loud and ordinary, at 12:15. Let's go back over it. 9 meters in a crate and a woman turning away money for a year. A spring that dried up and hard water that turns that blue-gray. A young dyer who said what she had lost and left it at that. A sample that was a close match and a decision not to settle for it. Then the Tuesday she cut her losses, Iva's 6 windows, and 1 Saturday morning with the shears. 2 questions. First, why did the real blue still not match Iva's curtains? Second, what changed on that last Saturday, the cloth or Nuria? 9 meters, an ordinary price, and a bare roller in a crate by noon. For your English this week, try this instead of a second listen. Name one thing in your own life that is hard to come by. Name something you are still holding out hope for. Name one small, harmless thing you have settled for. Phrases you have said about your own week come back far faster than phrases you have only heard. There is a new story here every week, and the next one is already waiting.